Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I have another layout for you here. It's a 12 by 12. I will get back to Project Life soon, I promise, which is why I had posted about 4 in a row a couple weeks ago. I knew I was going to be on a 12 by 12 marathon there for a bit. So anyways, this is another layout I did for my sister. This is the last of the 15. I have this one and 2 more to post, which I'll post over the next couple of days. Of my nephew, and then I'll be done with my December project. I have already given it to my sister for Christmas, but sorry for the pause. That was so weird. My son's asleep and my husband is at work, and I swear I hear something. All right, I think I'm tripping. Oh, okay. That is so weird. Okay, anyways. Okay, back to the layout. Sorry, I get distracted. I am using the background paper here. It is a Craftsmith collection from Michaels. It's called their Boardwalk Sherbert paper, or rather collection. And it's this diagonal stripe. I am using it as the background, and then I'm also going to use a couple other small bits of paper, but not much. I'm actually going to use some ribbon as a mat for the photo. Now this is new. I've never done this before, and it worked out okay. I mean, I like the color of it. It was a bright green, and it's a great way to use up some ribbon, but it's not as finished looking as I'd like it to be. Where I cut the edges of the ribbon, it could fray. It's not fraying now, but it could in the future. So it's definitely something to kind of keep in mind if you decide to do that. I am creating my title here with a couple stickers. So I have this sticker from a We Are Memory Keepers archived collection sticker sheet, and it says Moment. And then I'm using these tile alphas from, who are they from? They are from Echo Park's A Perfect Summer alpha sheet. And it's one of those where, you know, you have like the large alpha at the top, and then there may be 2 small tile alphas or 2 small font alphas at the bottom. Well, this is one of those little tile alphas that was at the bottom. I always cut those sheets apart and keep them in my like alpha sticker box together. Because I always pull out my alphas based on the color, not necessarily based on the collection, and I don't like having a 12 by 12 paper. It's just harder for me to kind of rifle through my sticker sheets if it's a 12 by 12. So this is going to say a moment captured, and right now it just says moment captured, but I'm going to add the A, and I will trim down this grid piece of paper that the title's on. It's actually a Project Life card from the Honey edition that I just kind of I've already cut, well, I've actually already cut into a lot of those cards, but I have the full core kit, so I have absolutely no qualms about cutting into some of these cards and using them for different things. As long as I use them, it doesn't really matter how I use them. And this is where I trim that down, and I did round the corners. Now, it gets a bit lost on the diagonal right now, but I am going to use it. I'm going to pop it up on some foam tape. Actually, I think I use leftover foam, adhesive foam, but I am going to pop it up so it's got a little bit of dimension, and it definitely creates a little bit of shadowing behind it, which gives it a bit of an offset to the rest of the layout. Now I'm using this Fancy Pants camera paper to mat my photo with. I like the blue. I thought about matting it on white, but I really thought having the blue border around it and then matting that on white would be a nice complement to the photo, because there's a lot of blue in the water in the photo. I don't think they're at a beach. I think they're at a lake, actually. For some reason, I think they're in Colorado, but I could be totally wrong. I don't remember. But I'm just cutting out the noted tab off of the edge of that Project Life card. And I'm going to stick it right under the photo. And so it just says noted. And because the background is so busy with the stripes, I'm not actually going to add a ton of embellishment on here. I'm going to keep it pretty simple because it's just so busy already. I'm cutting off this little orange tag banner off of another Project Life card, and it just says remember. And it's right there beside the noted tab as well. Now, as I mentioned in probably every video I've done in the last couple weeks, I love this washi tape date labels. So if anybody knows where they're from or anything that's similar that I can get, please let me know, because I use these things all the time and I really like them. I have these eyelets that are from the Eyelet Outlet that I am, they may not be from Eyelet Outlet. I thought they were. They may actually be a We Are Memory Keepers. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Eyelet Outlet. I think that's where they're from. But they're just, I have some blue ones is what those are, and I'm just putting them kind of around my title card. I don't mind using those on my layouts, but I don't like using them on the background paper because you'll be able to see through to whatever's behind the layout. So I like putting them on tags that are on top of the background paper, if that makes any sense. That way you can see the background paper through the little holes. I have this frame that I cut out and it says Dream Big, but that is not going to end up making it on the layout. However, I did first cut it out just to see if I could make it work, and it doesn't. I feel like it just doesn't fit with the rest of the layout. But I am going to use this part of this other frame here. And it's a little too large, so I'm just piecing it back together. I'm making it a little bit smaller and piecing it together. There we go. Trying to figure out exactly how I want it placed, but I'm going to end up offsetting it to where it's not. So the element captured is not right on inside the frame. It's going to kind of overlap the edge of the frame. I've been really liking using the open frames here recently, to where you can see the background paper through it. I don't know why, but I've done that, I think, on the last 2 layouts. I'm just looking to see if there's any way that I can add the little piece that I cut off of the frame, and it says Sail Away With Me. And since he's looking out at the ocean or the water, I don't think it's an ocean, like I said, I think it's a lake, but as he's looking out at the water, I thought it'd be kind of nice to have that because there's boats in the photos. So I'm going to add that to the very bottom here, and obviously it's pretty obvious to me just looking at it, and this is where I fixed this, there's not enough weight here at the bottom. With that title card at the top in that blue frame, there's definitely a lot more weight to the top of this layout, and it needed something at the bottom. So I'm going to take a piece of that dark ribbon, it's like a navy blue ribbon, and I'm going to put that down here, and that's where I'm going to put that tag that says Sail Away With Me, and also put my date label. Now this is that adhesive foam that I was talking about. I've run out of my like foam tape, but I do have these things in my stash, and I'm not using them. So I might as well just cut them apart and use them to give me some dimension under some of my elements on my layout. And if you've watched my videos before, anytime I use ribbon, I just glue it like at the end of the ribbon with my glue runner, and that helps keep the fraying to a minimum. And then I also turn over the paper and tape it on the back with washi tape. Now I'm going to add a small pocket up at the top left. That's going to be a place for my sister to journal if she chooses to. If she doesn't choose to, it's not going to take away from the layout at all, but I did want to make sure that there was the option for her if she wanted to include some journaling. And I'm just kind of flipping through some things. These are the Craftsmith embellishment packs that you can get at Michael's, and they had some little teal photo corners. I'm going to use those right on top of the white paper, but below the blue and teal paper, or the black and teal paper that the photo's mounted on. And the layout, or the photo still is kind of looking like it's just kind of floating a bit. It just doesn't have enough weight behind it. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to put behind it. And this is about where I decided to put the ribbon. This is actually the back side of one of the cut apart sheets. In their collections, if you do buy these at Michael's, they give you 2 sheets of paper of each pattern. So I have another one that I can use as a cut apart. Just making my little pocket for my journaling card to fit in. And I'm actually using this little banner shape as my journaling pocket, or as my journaling card instead. But it fits perfectly up there. It's got that navy blue to tie into the rest of the colors in the layout, and it's like a navy blue and teal on that banner. I believe you can see that banner in the still shots at the end of the video, so definitely take a look at those if you're interested in looking at that a little bit further. Anything that I use in this layout will be listed in the blog post that goes with this layout. It's going to be at www.designbymelody.wordpress.com. So if you'd like to go check it out, it goes the blog post that goes along with this video. It goes live at the same time that the video does. So as soon as you finish watching this video, you can go straight over there and you'll be able to see the supplies that I use. I'll have them listed in that video, as well as the still shots that are at the end of the video as well. I am using a Heidi Swap washi tape, and it's one of those that has a different pattern every 6 to 8 inches or so, and it said unforgettable, and it was kind of in a navy blue, and I actually used part of it on my last layout, and then that was a piece that I had left. Now this green ribbon, if I had actually planned this out a little bit better, I would have noticed that I was going to run out of it, but thankfully it was only about a ½ inch or so that I ran out of, so I just, since I have a bit of that tag that hangs off, I just cut it to where the ribbon's not showing, or the ribbon that it doesn't go behind it. And it gives me just enough to be able to layer on the back. And I've never done this before. I'm not 100% sure I like the way it is. Like I said, the ribbon could fray around the edges. It hasn't, and it probably won't because it'll be in a page protector, but it very well could, so it's something to think about if you decide to do this. And I am actually going to, as you can see here, I'm just reinforcing each of the ends with some glue runner, and this will also help prevent the fraying from happening. But that right there gives the photo enough weight to me. It makes it stand out. It's got that green, which does match the background paper. There's a green stripe in the background paper. So it does match that, but I think it gives the photo enough weight to really be offset on its own. And the diagonal paper is messing with my eyes. I had to measure it to make sure that I had that straight. And lastly, I'm going to add a few of these green rhinestones. These are also from the Isla outlet. I got them at a scrapbook expo I went to, and it's just on this long strip, so I just cut them apart when I want to use them. Oh, I lied. There's one more thing I add. I actually take out my heart punch, my little mini heart punch, and I add a few little hearts around on the layout. One up by the title, one up by the unforgettable tag, and then one on the date tab. Just doing a few clusters of those rhinestones. It is that same green that ribbon is, so it complements it well. You can see all my little scraps of paper. I just keep everything as I'm working with the kit just in case I need, just like this. I'm punching the hearts out of here. Now I can throw that little piece of paper away because I could not use it for anything else, but it's not wasted. I used it for these little hearts, so it's perfect. If you're working with a kit, I highly suggest doing that because you don't want to waste anything, and you don't want to have to need a little piece like this little heart and not have something to punch it out of. But anyways, this finishes the layout. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe so you can see all my videos go live. And then also check out my blog like I mentioned before. Thanks guys. Bye.